Yo, DC, buckle up because today we've got three absolute bombs that could shape our entire offseason. First up, one of our coordinators might be leaving, but he could leave us with TWO third-round picks as a parting gift. Second, a veteran with the highest cap hit on the roster might be on the trade block, and all the signs are there, fam. And third, the potential heir to Bobby Wagner has just been projected to us, and the comp is Fred Warner. If you bounce now, you're going to miss decisions that could change this franchise forever. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stick around till the end, because this one gets heavy. Bro, we're starting off strong because this might be a blessing in disguise. Anthony Lynn, our running game coordinator, just landed another head coaching interview, this time with the Cleveland Browns and fam. The chances of him leaving are climbing fast. He already interviewed with Buffalo, now Cleveland's in the mix, and honestly, this might be the best thing that happens to us this offseason. Why? Because if Lynn gets hired as a head coach, we get TWO compensatory third-round picks, one in the 2026 draft and another in 2027. Let that sink in. Let's talk about Lynn first. He's 57, a veteran with head coaching experience. He led the Chargers from 2017 to 2020, and he's been key to our run game this year. He worked directly with Brian Robinson Jr. and the whole RB room, and his ground game expertise helped balance the offense while Jaden Daniels was developing. But bro, we also know Lynn isn't irreplaceable. He did a solid job, but he wasn't the reason we were in playoff contention. That was Jaden Cliff Kingsbury, now in Vegas, and a defense that, well, we all know how that ended. So why Cleveland? Because there's a direct connection. Tom Telesco, the former Chargers GM who worked with Lynn, is now consulting on the Browns head coach search. And fam, Cleveland is desperate. They've already missed out on a few candidates and might be looking for a CEO type head coach to manage the locker room while Jim Schwartz keeps running the defense. Lynn fits that mold perfectly. Experience, leadership, and a team-first culture mindset. Plus, the Browns need stability after their 2025 meltdown. And Lynn is exactly the kind of coach who can bring that. But here's the wild part, bro. If Lynn leaves, we win. And we win big. Thanks to the Rooney Rule, any team that loses a minority assistant to a head coaching job gets 2 third-round comp picks. That means in the 2026 draft, where we currently only have 6 picks and just 2 in the top 75, no second or fourth rounders, we'd suddenly have 2 more third-rounders. And fam, that's huge. With those extra picks, Adam Peters can work his magic, bring in more young talent, trade up, or add depth at key spots like linebacker, D-line, or secondary dot. And listen, it's not just about 2026. We also get another third-rounder in 2027, giving us long-term flexibility to keep building this roster. Because, bro, let's be real. We're in accelerated rebuild mode. We've got Jaden Daniels on a rookie deal, which means we've got a 3 to 4 year window to surround our franchise QB with talent before we're paying him $50+ million a year. Every pick matters, and 2 extra third-rounders are straight up gold in terms of value. Now, what happens to our coaching staff if Lynn leaves? We'd lose experience, no doubt. But fam, we also gotta be real. David Blau just got promoted to OC, and it's his first time ever calling plays. Blau is young, energetic, and has a direct connection with Jaden. They were roommates at the Pro Bowl and worked together all year. But bro, he's also green. Losing Lynn, one of the veteran voices in that offensive room, could be a hit. Still, Adam Peters and Dan Quinn are ready. They can promote from within, bring in another experienced run game coordinator, or tweak the scheme so Blau has more control over the ground game. And here's the key point, fam. Lynn ain't Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff was the mastermind of our offense, the guy designing plays, putting Jaden in position to win, creating mismatches with motion and spacing. Lynn was important, sure, but his role was more specific, coaching RBs and coordinating the run game. That's replaceable. What's not replaceable is having 2 extra third-round picks we can use to bring in linebackers, edge rushers, or safeties who can transform our defense. Because, bro, let's be honest, our defense was a mess in 2025. We finished 30th in yards allowed, 28th in points allowed, and got torched in the wild card round by Tampa. The main issue? Lack of talent. No edge rush, no coverage on the back end, and no playmakers at the second level. Those 2 third-rounders could be exactly what we need to start fixing that. And fam, let's talk timing. Lynn is 57. If he's going to get another shot at being a head coach in the NFL, it's now. After this window, he probably won't get another chance. So from his perspective, going to Cleveland or Buffalo makes total sense. And from our perspective as Commanders fans, bro, it makes sense too. Because those 2 picks give us more ammo to build a roster that can compete for Super Bowls during Jaden Daniels' rookie contract window. So yeah, losing Anthony Lynn would hurt in terms of coaching. But fam, the compensation is just too good to pass up. And with Adam Peters running the show, I trust 100% that he'll use those picks wisely. This GM already proved in year 1 that he knows exactly what he's doing. Okay, bro, that was the first bomb of the day. But hold up, because what's coming next is even more controversial. We're talking about one of our highest paid vets and whether we should or shouldn't trade Daron Payne. Let's go. Fam, this one's got me torn, and I know a lot of y'all feel the same. We're talking about Daron Payne, a dude who's been part of this franchise since 2018, made the Pro Bowl in 2022, and has been one of the faces of our D-line for years. But bro, we gotta keep it real. Daron hasn't been playing up to that contract lately, and with Adam Peters looking to get younger across the board, the trade rumors are heating up. And listen, this ain't just fan noise. Analysts like Bradley Locker from PFF are already calling Payne an obvious trade candidate this offseason. Let's break it down. Payne signed a $90 million deal back in 2023. And in 2026, he's set to have the highest cap hit on the entire team. We're talking almost $28 million against the cap, fam. That's more than Terry McLaurin, more than Bobby Wagner, more than anyone else on the roster. And the question Adam Peters has to ask is simple. Is Daron Payne playing like a $20-8 million player? And bro, the answer is no doubt. Since his Pro Bowl season, he's had 3 straight years with an overall PFF grade under 61.5. That's meh. And the worst part, his run defense has fallen off a cliff. Over the last 2 seasons, his run D grade was 44.9, ranking him 25th out of 32 qualifying DTS. That means only 7 starters were worse at stopping the run, and that used to be his bread and butter. Daron was known for eating double teams and freeing up linebackers. Lately, not so much. And as a pass rusher, not much better. His win rate hasn't cracked 7.7% since 2023. That's below average for an interior lineman. Now, I know some of y'all are thinking, bro, he had no help. The whole D-line was a mess. And yeah, that's true. Jonathan Allen was banged up most of 2025. We had no edge rush, and our secondary was so bad teams could just get the ball out quick. But fam, he's being paid like a top 10 DT, and he's not playing like one dot. So what does Adam Peters do? There are 3 options, and each one's got pros and cons. Option 1, extend him. Give him a new deal now. Lower that cap hit for 20, 26, and spread the money out. That gives us more flexibility to sign free agents this offseason. But bro, do we really want to lock in long-term with a 28-year-old DT who's been trending down for 3 straight years? If he doesn't bounce back, we're stuck with a bad contract. Option 2, keep him for 2026 and let him walk. In free agency, this is the safe route. Don't do anything now. See how he plays next season, hopefully with a better supporting cast, and then let him go. The downside? We're eating $28 million in cap space for a guy who might not move the needle. That's money we could use on an edge rusher, a corner, or a safety. Option 3, trade him. And fam, this one's gaining steam. If we trade Daron this offseason, we save $16.75 million in cap space. Yeah, we take on $11.2 million in dead money, but we'd still net about $5.5 million in savings plus. Whatever we get in return, probably a 3rd or 4th round pick, depending on the market. And bro, that money could be the difference between landing a top-tier free agent or not. But here's the dilemma. If we trade Payne, who replaces him? He's still a starting caliber DT with experience. We can't just plug in a 6th-round rookie and expect the same production. We'd need to use draft capital or free agency to bring in another DT, and that costs resources too. So the real question is it worth the risk? And fam, I think it all comes down to what Adam Peters sees on tape. If he thinks Payne's decline is just a product of the chaos around him and believes he can bounce back with better talent next to him, maybe he keeps him. But if Peters sees what PFF sees a declining player not living up to his deal, then, bro, the trade makes sense. Peters isn't the kind of GM who holds on to guys out of loyalty. He's going to do what's best for the long-term health of this franchise. And listen, context matters. Payne's a free agent after 2026. So if we don't extend him, this is his last year with us anyway. So the real question is, do we keep him for one more year at $28 million and then let him walk for nothing? Or do we trade him now, save some cash, get a pick, and use that money to improve other parts of the roster? When you put it like that, fam, the trade starts to make a lot more sense, bro. Think about the draft. If we trade Payne and get a 3rd or 4th rounder, that adds to the TWO 3rd rounders we might already get if Lynn leaves. Suddenly, Adam Peters has FOUR picks in the first 4 rounds of the 2026 draft plus whatever else he can cook up in trades. That's a massive haul of draft capital. And with Peters calling the shots, I trust he'll use those picks to rebuild this defense the right way. So, yeah, fam, the signs are there. Daron Payne could be on the move this offseason. And while it'd be tough to see a vet go, it might be the right move for the future of this team. Because at the end of the day, this is a business. And Adam Peters has to do what's best to put the Commanders in position to compete for Super Bowls. And if that means trading Daron Payne, then bro, so be it. All right, fam. That one was heavy, I know. But now let's switch gears to something way more exciting because we might have just found our next Bobby Wagner. And this kid from Ohio State, he's about to change everything. Let's go. Yo, fam, if there's one thing that's got me HYPD for the 2026 draft, it's this right here. Daniel Jeremy, one of the most respected draft analysts in the game, just dropped his first mock of the year, and guess what? He's got the Washington Commanders taking Sonny Styles, linebacker out of Ohio State, in the 1st round. And bro, when I saw the comp he made, I almost fell out of my chair. He said Sonny reminds him of Fred Warner. Yeah, fam, that Fred Warner, the best linebacker in the league right now. The same Fred that Adam Peters helped draft back in San Francisco. If that connection doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. Let's talk about who Sonny Styles is, because this kid is different. He played 4 years at Ohio State, and it was in his junior season 2024 when he really popped off. Over 100 tackles and 10.5 sacks from the linebacker spot. Let me say that again. 10.5 sacks as an off-ball linebacker. That's wild. And he did it in one of the best defenses in college football, in a scheme that asked him to do everything blitz, drop in coverage, set the edge, and run the show pre-snap. He was basically the QB of that defense. And he did it at an elite level. In his senior year, 2025, teams started keying in on him more. So his numbers dipped a bit, 82 tackles and 6.5 sacks, but he also missed 2 games after Ohio State got bounced early in the playoffs. Still, Even with the extra attention, he was one of the top linebackers in the country. But fam, it's not just about the stats. What makes Sonny special is his versatility, instincts, and ability to impact the game in every phase. And that's where the Fred Warner comp makes total sense. Warner isn't just a tackler. He's a do-it-all linebacker. He can blitz, cover, tight ends and backs, set the edge, and lead the entire defense with his football IQ. And bro, that's exactly what Sonny Styles brings to the table. He's that modern hybrid linebacker every DC dreams of, someone who lets you run any scheme you want because he can handle it all. Now, let's talk fit, because this dude fits Washington like a glove. Right now, our linebacker situation is shaky. Bobby Wagner is 35 and a free agent this offseason. He said he hasn't decided on his future yet. And bro, as much as we love Bobby and everything he's done, 162 tackles. In 2025, over 2,000 in his career, we gotta be real. He's 35. Even if he comes back, it's probably for one more year. So what's the plan? Jordan McGee's been on the roster for 2 years, and while he's got potential, he's still a project. He's athletic, he's got upside, and he was a leader at Temple, but bro, he's never been the guy. He's been learning behind Bobby, but he hasn't had to run the show. And the question is he ready to be the QB of the defense? Because if Bobby's gone, McGee's the default starter in fam. I don't know if we're ready to roll those dice just yet. That's where Sonny Styles comes in. If the Commanders draft him in the first round, he becomes the heir to Bobby Wagner. He's the one calling the plays, making the adjustments, leading the huddle, and setting the tone. And bro, that doesn't just help the defense, it helps McGee too. Because McGee can then just play fast and free, use his athleticism, and not have to carry the mental load of leading the defense. That's a win-win. And fam, let's talk about the impact Sonny would have on this defense as a whole. One of our biggest issues in 2025 was the lack of playmakers at the second level. We had no linebackers who could blitz effectively, cover tight ends or backs, or fly sideline to sideline. Sonny Styles fixes all of that. He can blitz and get sacks. Remember those 10.5? He can drop into coverage and lock down the middle of the field. And he's got the speed and instincts to make plays in space. Basically, bro, he's exactly what we've been missing. And listen, leadership matters too. Sonny wasn't just a baller at Ohio State, he was a leader. One of the team captains, one of the loudest voices in the locker room. And fam, that's something you can't teach. Some guys just have that it factor, that ability to lead and elevate everyone around them. Sonny's got it. And with Bobby likely on his way out, we need that kind of presence on defense. Now, I know some of y'all are thinking, bro, we already drafted a linebacker in the first round back in 2023, Jamin Davis, and that didn't work out. And yeah, that's true. But fam, that was the old regime. Jamin was a Ron Rivera pick. Adam Peters wasn't here yet. And Peters already showed in his first draft, 2025, that he knows what he's doing. He drafted Brandon Coleman in the third round. Dude was one of the best rookie O-linemen in the league. He took Mike Sainristil in the second. And Sainristil was an instant starter in the secondary. So if Peters is targeting Sonny Styles, I'm all in. And bro, timing is everything. If Bobby retires or walks, and we don't draft a linebacker in round 1, what's the plan? Roll with McGee and hope for the best? Sign some washed-up vet in free agency? None of those options are ideal. But drafting Sonny Styles gives us a long-term solution. A 21-year-old with all-pro upside who could be the cornerstone of our defense for the next decade. And fam, let's be real. If Daniel Jeremiah is comparing this kid to Fred Warner, and Adam Peters was the guy who helped draft Fred Warner, doesn't it make perfect sense that Peters would want to bring the next Fred Warner to Washington? That connection is just too obvious to ignore. Peters knows exactly what kind of linebacker he needs to make this defense work in Sonny Styles. Fits that mold perfectly. So, yeah, Fam, I'm 100% on board with this pick. Sonny Styles to the Commanders in round 1 of the 2026 draft. Let's make it happen. All right, fam. Those were the 3 big stories of the day, and bro, what a day. We've got Lynn probably leaving, but gifting us 2 third-round picks. We've got Daron Payne as a legit trade candidate, and we've got Sonny Styles, possibly becoming our next Bobby Wagner. And listen, I know some of these moves are controversial. I know not everyone's going to agree with trading Payne or letting Lynn walk. But fam, this is what rebuild mode looks like. Adam Peters is building something special here, and sometimes that means making tough calls. But I trust this GM. I trust Dan Quinn. And I truly believe we're on the right path. So if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss tomorrow's update. We've got more Commanders news coming your way. And if you want more content like this, check out our full playlist with analysis, highlights, and everything you need to stay locked in with your favorite team. See y'all tomorrow, fam. HTTR. Let's go.